Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is April 16th when I'm recording this. This is actually Tuesday after the market, and that's because I got some business to take care of in the morning, so I won't be around for my 8:30 session. So I figured I'd record it right now, and we can post it for you guys in the morning at the normal time. That way, any of your alarms or calendar events will stay the same, and here I am. But as we know, the market has been pulling back, so we're going to start there kind of looking around at a few things. There's not too much to talk about because, well, I'm mostly in cash here, and other than that, if you guys want to be day trading, that's kind of what it's all about. So just make sure that you protect yourselves. This is not the time to be a hero, and just keep in mind that the market has been up and trending up for over 4 months, and at some point, all things must come to an end, and I think that's what we're experiencing right now. The question is, how long is this going to be? How far is it going to go? That's really what we kind of need to figure out. Of course, there will be bounces along the way. And so with that, we just kind of dive into the charts, see what we can find, and kind of stay nimble, okay? So let's kind of first take a look at the market itself. We know that this thing has been up here. We talked about it last week. We've been watching it start to come back down. And I think maybe even last week I said, hey, the first stop is going to be around the daily 50 SMA. And we were there for all but one day. So right here, you can see how price went in. And I think that was on Friday, where price came into the daily 50. We did get a fairly healthy bounce right off the bat that morning with the futures and the open and the gap up that night. But it did not hold. Not in the least. So if we kind of look over here on the 15-minute time frame, we can see that, yeah, it did open above the 15-minute 50. All right, so let's see. Can it hold? Nope, it right away failed the 15-minute 50. Okay, so then it came down here. Now, what about this area? Kind of looking at maybe a previous low, double bottom area, still kind of at the daily 50. Is that going to hold? Nope, and you can see that by the end of the day, that this thing was just still wanting to move lower. There were no signs or signals of this thing finding support anywhere in through here. And you can see here because the 15-minute 8 was still below the 15-minute 21 and it still wanted to go down. Everything on the Moxie indicator kept saying lower. So whether it was some news or something that a Fed chairman or somebody said something out there, that caused this thing to drop, that's fine. Whatever the news is, whatever the excuse that the market needs in order for it to go down, everything was already set up for the market to go lower in through here. And the only thing holding it up was probably the daily 50. And hey, I didn't expect that to be too much strength, and so it came down. And you could just see here, even on the 15-minute time frame, it was ready to go down. So it did that pretty big move to the downside. And at this point, I've been looking at the internals. I've been looking at breadth. It does seem like things are getting pretty darn stretched to the downside. A lot of things have just torpedoed down. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe in through here we're going to start getting a little bit of a reprieve, maybe a bit of a bounce. It might take me a time or two to figure this out. We do have a trade on right here with the Moxie group. And it's a tight stop, so I think it's about a 1% risk. So if it doesn't work out, 1%. But I do think somewhere around this area we're probably going to get a bounce. Now, it may not be tomorrow. This thing might need to do one more, and then we go up. But I do think eventually we're going to get that. As I said, the internals are kind of speaking to me and telling me that things are rough enough out there that we could be getting some sort of snap back. Just to remember, as far as context go, if we look at the higher time frames, we still can go lower. Okay, I do think that the weekly 21 is kind of that first target, but I think it's going to take some time to get there. So we've already moved down a fair amount. Maybe we get a 2, 3, 4 day bounce. I don't know. It's something I'm looking for. But then after that little bounce, then I do think we're going to head lower. Let's go to the weekly 21, and from there we'll see if we get a greater bounce. And then from there, we'll have to really see. The only distance I'm willing to really look at is a test of the weekly 21. And then we have to see what the internals with the market, what the condition of things are at that point. So yeah, we just never know how long these things are going to go for. But I'm trying to see if there's going to be a bounce somewhere in here. So with that, let me show you. I know GPS, just a couple names off the top of my head to show you just how brutal some of these moves have been. Now, granted, I like to think of things sometimes that the faster they go up, the harder they come down, because they go up like rockets and they fall like rocks. And this, I think this is one of those where this was probably just a really glorious short squeeze. But Gap, you can see, shot up on earnings. Again, maybe a giant short squeeze. And it just outran all of its support. It became seriously overbought, got way too far away from all of its support. And in conjunction with the market not being able to stay up and wanting to move down, this is when you could see it started to roll over and roll over pretty hard. You know, there is your Moxie price trigger to the downside. And you can see this thing has just been an absolute beauty to the short side on the 15-minute time frame. So yeah, I saw that. Just a lot of things. A lot of things have been rolling over. And if we even look at the FNGS, these are the FANG stocks. Now let me come over here so we can get it a little bit bigger. And they have been chopping around for quite some time. They even made, you know, this index made a new high just the other day. It was a trick. It was a trap. And I kind of figured that because I just didn't think, how is this thing going to go up when the rest of the market's moving down? The semis are not looking good. I'll show you that in a second. The NASDAQ wasn't looking good, in which most of the FANG stocks are. They're going to be kind of in the tech area. But check this out. As far as the timing goes for the Moxie indicator, we got the Moxie price trigger right here, just like we had the Moxie price trigger back here. So that's why I do think we should be seeing lower. Maybe there will be a bounce somewhere in between, of course. And then we'll just have to see, what are we going to get? You know, are we going to get 4, 5, 6, 7%, 10%? I don't know. All right, then let's look at Meta. This is another name, part of the FANG stocks, super high. And it's like, wow, how much further can this thing go? It was, I feel like it was already kind of on borrowed time getting up there, because this is extreme. This really, really is extreme as far as these names being up here. It has been so long since we've seen something this crazy like this, where prices are way outside of that third ATR on the monthly time frame and that far away from the monthly 10. Really pretty wild and crazy. And here we are, price just kind of going sideways. It's just pulling in, and you know, there's just, I mean, how much further can this stuff go up here? The market's been on fire for 4 months, and you know, it just kind of needs to start pulling everything back in as far as the cycles go. And then you can see here we are getting a fresh Moxie price trigger to the downside right at the top. So yeah, and then we could also look here and say we're probably, I'm looking at this negative divergence in through here, and we're probably going to be firing short pretty soon. We'll have to see what earnings ends up looking like. All right, and then as I said, if we look at the semis, to look at some of the technology, this has been telling us, hey, it has not been bullish for a few weeks. And in fact, I noticed a while ago right here, where I think other people, if you're only looking at one time frame, or you're looking at the daily, or you just don't have the Moxie indicator, you look at something like this where it pulled back, bounced, looks like it's flagging into support, and looks like it should go, but then all of a sudden it doesn't. And maybe you're surprised as to why that happened. But if you have the Moxie indicator, we look at this and we can say, hey, price is over the 50, but the Moxie indicator is below 0. That thing should be talking to you and saying, don't go long if the indicator is this far below 0 and staying below 0. And now what we can see is all that time finally narrowed the 8 and 21 so that it crossed. So now we're starting to get these moving averages crossing to the downside, and this is a problem for any of the bulls. And you can see here the Moxie indicator is firing to the downside also. Okay, so let's kind of look over at the monthly and weekly, and we can see the same thing. Look how far these things have really moved up to the upside. They just don't like to stay up there for too long. Okay, and now we're coming back down, and we still have a ways. You know, the semis still have a ways to go until they get to their weekly 21. I don't know if they're going to actually hit the 21, but I think that is based on history and how these things go. I think the weekly 21 is a pretty easy place, a pretty good place to look for price to come back down and actually hit those areas. Okay. Now let's see. Let's look at Netflix real quick. I think was it earnings. If there's anything that happened on earnings, not quite today. I know it's coming up, and this is another one where if it wasn't for earnings, I would not be in this. And the reason I would not be in this is because of what the Moxie indicator is telling me. You can see that the indicator has been below 0 for quite some time. And sure, price can drift up and can move up for a little while. But at some point, that indicator is telling us that energy and momentum is coming out of these things, out of these kind of positions, and that we should be expecting that at some point they're going to succumb to what the indicator is telling us. And I could make a pretty good case. That's a head and shoulders right up there. And you can see, yes, it's coming into the daily 50. It might bounce, but I just don't know if I trust it. Even if it did bounce on earnings, I don't think it's going to last for very long. I'll head over to Hubs after this. But same thing, if you look at Netflix, these things are so wildly high, I just don't see them continuing. I think we need to really look at these things resting, pulling back, and giving us a new opportunity to get in. So let me then show you Hubs, because Hubs had news that I think Google either bought them out or bought a portion or something relating to Google about this. You can see a huge volume spike and obviously a nice bump up in price. But what did it do? Not much. After that big initial bump, oh, it got sold into. Well, that's because the market is not ready. This is not the right market condition for most names to be doing anything. You can see, yes, it came into the daily 50, kind of like Netflix, and it did get a bump based on news. And so maybe Netflix could do the same thing with earnings, is that it's going to come into the 50, have earnings bounce. But then, honestly, I'd be careful about maybe Netflix starting to roll over and pull back. Okay, so anything goes for earnings. You guys know that. So I'm not trying to say what I think Netflix will do for earnings, but whatever it does do for earnings, I would be cautious on the long side. So if it does go up, take your profits. You know, and if it goes down, well, then that's kind of no surprise. Yeah, that's what I would say for that one. The other one we're looking at, GBTC, Bitcoin. What are we seeing in through this thing? Now, Bitcoin, I've covered this in the room, in the trading room, in the Simpler Central room for a while, and I said, I think Bitcoin is going to need to go sideways. I think it needs to relax. I think this thing went up very, very high. It's had a huge run, and now it's time for it to relax, chill out, and start coming back down to reality for a little bit. And one of the ways that we could see that is here again. Price over the 50, Moxie indicator below 0. That's an inverse trampoline move. Price should not be over the 50 if the Moxie indicator is below 0. And so that means every move up here was a fake move. It was a fake out, false move. And the Moxie indicator was really kind of telling you that and telling you to be careful and to watch out. And you could also see that, hey, look, now price is back down to the daily 50. So will it bounce here? I don't know. There's actually another ticker I was looking at. I think it was Post. No, let's look at SE. Maybe that was the one. Yeah, SE. Now that's what I mean. So Bitcoin, hey, maybe it's going to bounce off the daily 50. SE did perfectly. Could it have been something to trade? No. For me, this was just such a quick move. It basically ran into that 50 SMA, and you could see it went from a straight down move to a straight up move. There's just nothing you can do here, you know. Yeah, it looks nice. Obviously, in hindsight, you're like, oh, I could have seen that, done that. That was obviously, but that's not always the case. Okay, a lot of times prices do come into the daily 50, and they don't actually bounce right then or right there. Seems like maybe there was some news that might have happened. So I always think it's interesting, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg, because price bounced into the 50, but maybe also it was news that happened right as the price bounced off the 50. Kind of interesting. And let me show you ON, because this is where it's an example of, hey, probably a pretty good stock. Looks like it has good relative strength, but it did come into the daily 50 as well, but it didn't really hold. Okay, it's holding for now, but it didn't bounce the way that SE did. And that's why I'm saying that AC move, hey, don't worry about it. Can't touch all the water, can't take all the trades. It had some kind of random move at the daily 50. Could have easily done something like this. And that's why I say, you know, be careful when you have something coming into the daily 50. I like to use multiple time frames to help me pinpoint this and figure out, and even at ON, it looks good, but it's still not an entry. It's still not a long trade. This thing could certainly go lower. Yes, it has relative strength because it's making higher lows while the market actually goes down, but there's no entry yet. And so I think we just need to be careful and patient about this market and just give it some time. Okay, if we look at even things like the VIX, yeah, do we want to be really going long and thinking that this market's going to be doing well when the VIX finally starts to move up, especially after a base this long? Yeah, I don't think so. So lay low out there, do some day trading, see what you can find. But the VIX is telling us, yeah, be careful out there. It would be great if we could figure out where there might be a bounce because, again, there could be a kind of a multi-day move to the upside, but we're going to have to wait. How about the precious metals, you say? Even, how about non-precious? We looked at Alcoa. We had a nice trade in here. In fact, let's see, back here around March 20th, Allison, Joe, and I did a live or virtual money show online and with our computers and everything. And I gave away a trade out there. And I said, I think AA is going to be a mover. I set it up on the weekly chart, daily chart, hourly, and I said, I think this thing's going to go. And I told people right about it right over here. And we even took a trade on it too. And that basically netted us about 18%. Then we got out of it for the rest of it about 15%. Not too shabby, especially for an aluminum company. And then we got out, and it has earnings. Let's see, when is that? Probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So I'm out. I don't like to trade earnings, but that was a pretty clean trade. All right, let's look at GDX because this has been kind of getting knocked down, and I think it makes good sense. There are two things to look at this. Number one, we know it's been a big move, right? Just like we saw with the market. Hey, big moves, they all come to an end at some point. They all pull back, something like that's going to be happening. But what's interesting is to see right where, for now, the body of the monthly candle, and keep in mind we're only halfway through, so of course this can change. But I do find it interesting that it's now back underneath the 200 SMA on the monthly time frame. And if we look at the weekly, look where it went. Right to the weekly third ATR. Pretty crazy, huh? And then if we even look at this, you can see here, let me see if I can draw it a little bit straighter. Right there. So basically called a double top. Came right up there, hit some of this resistance, and then came right back down. So once again, not too much of a surprise that these things are pulling back. The market was ready. These things were up, very extended, and notice the negative divergence. Price was going higher on less energy, which is what the Moxie indicator was trying to show. Less energy. And look, maybe just a hair delayed, but there's your Moxie price trigger to the downside. Should have been able to see some of this coming, especially with this giant move up that got sold in too hard. When you see behavior like that, when you see price action like that, you better pay attention to it, okay? I think there's a reason that it got sold into so hard. Now, we could look at GLD, and it is still up. It's doing well. I do think that the miners are disconnected from, they're definitely not the same. They don't trade the same, and they don't move the same as the underlying precious metals. So just understand that they are trading differently. So GLD up here, yes, has a lot of momentum, probably for its own reasons. And yes, it is still above the hourly 50. Okay, looking good. Now, it could keep going higher, but I can't really buy it here. I personally would like to see if there's a little bit more of a dip, a little bit more of a correction. But I could be wrong because it is just gold. It's the precious metal. It's not actually stock. And people could be having different rhymes and reasons for that to get into it. And then we could also look at silver. Silver kind of looks like it's taking a chill pill. It had that big pop up like the rest of the metals and then came back down. So still, I'm not sure if I really want to buy it here at the hourly 50. Most of the time, that would be a good spot. But I just have a feeling in through this area, it's probably going to come down, pull back a little bit. So really across the board, you just got to be a little bit careful out there. We do have a short on. I'm looking for a long for the market, and then we can short things again. But I think right now, yeah, market's going a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic. If it's not your stuff, if you can't day trade, then just pull back and just ride out the storm until it gets better. Okay, it will. And if you're interested in figuring out how to know when it's going to get better, come on over to the Moxie Room. We're always running a $7 trial for 30 days. And then you can come in, you can learn how we talk and teach. You can ask some questions. And then that's the thing of how we start showing you how to figure out when the market is ready to roll over or ready to move up. All right, guys. Thanks again for your time, and we will see you at the next one. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.